Welcome to Cam Look, your biweekly dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Every Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer will talk about a work from our collection and raise questions for discussion. Check back at 10 a.m. on those days for new works and new conversations. Hi, I'm Jessica, the Art Bridges Fellow at the Cincinnati Art Museum. And this week I had the pleasure of working with museum docent Carol Stryker to bring you this Cam Look on an incredible work from our collection. Today we are going to look at a very small painting, measuring just about 5 by 7 inches. It is packed with intricate detail and features a very important man. Here we see Akbar, Emperor of India, as he sits in his pavilion speaking with his childhood friend Mirza Aziz Koka about the recent betrothal of Mirza's granddaughter to Akbar's grandson, the young man pictured here with a mustache standing behind his grandfather. Incidentally, the boy in the painting is another grandson of Akbar's. He will grow up as Shah Jahan, the builder of the Taj Mahal. The man in the foreground is a son of Koka, and he is making a deep bow to the emperor. The painting is the record of an actual meeting and is typical of documentation of specific events. In this case, the date is March 1602. It is done in the style that was popular at that time in Mughal India. Very small, using opaque watercolor on paper, and possibly made for an album with a surrounding decorative border of calligraphic verse. What is so amazing about this work and others like it is the minute detail that the artist is able to pack into such a small space. Note the patterning, each unique, beginning at the top, the tent silk roof, the surrounding pavilion support, the clothing, including sashes, turbans, and the transparent skirt that is worn by Koka. Then there are the carpets, each intricately painted, each with its own pattern, and all done in jewel-like colors. Just think what the artist, Manohar accomplished in a space not too much larger than an index card. Akbar was just as complex as the design of this painting. He grew up wild as the wind, almost incorrigible and resistant to any attempt to be taught by his tutors. Upon the death of his father, however, he became, at a very young age, the leader of the Mughals, Muslim invaders in a mostly Hindu area. He was forced by circumstance to assume responsibility and learned by listening to his advisors and teachers who read to him. You see, he was dyslexic and remained illiterate for his entire life. The reading disability did not affect his ability to learn, though. His memory was astounding, and Akbar retained almost everything that he heard. The emperor amassed thoughts about poetry and philosophy. He had great interest in architecture, music, and the visual arts. His strategic skills enabled him to conquer vast areas, and his leadership acumen enabled him to hold on to his territory and become highly regarded by his subjects. Akbar reigned for 49 years, at exactly the same time that Elizabeth I of England and Philip II of Spain were creating their empires. Akbar, pictured here, sitting barefoot, leaning in and speaking earnestly to his friend, exhibits his skill of personal dealings. The artist captures a simple moment and presents it to us, more than 400 years later, in an elegant and memorable manner. The activity today might be for all of us to consider the demanding training of this artist, Manohar and the kind of brushes that may have been used to create this interesting miniature painting.